Hey guys, it's Kara, and we're cooking with gas holiday style. I'm having a couple of friends over for dinner. I'm gonna make a really basic and simple meal. Baked ham, hash brown casserole, roasted Brussels sprouts with bacon. I'm gonna heat up some corn, store-bought rolls, and call it a meal. It's gonna be super delicious. And for dessert, I'm gonna do my rendition of my grandmother's blackberry cobbler. I'm gonna make a blackberry pie in her honor. So let's get cooking. I'm starting with the pie because you can actually do it a day in advance. In fact, you want to wait at least 4 hours before you cut into it. All right, I've got my oven preheated for 350 degrees, and I've got one of my pie crusts rolled out already in the pie pan. I'm using store-bought. You can use whatever crust recipe you like. Sorry, Grandma, I'm using store-bought. But I've got 4.5 to 5 cups of frozen blackberries. You can use fresh, of course, if you'd like, but frozen's a little bit easier to work with this time of year. To that, I'm gonna add a 1/2 cup of sugar, and I've got a little bit of a remainder in here for the top. 2 or 3 tablespoons of flour, just all-purpose flour is fine. And that's about it. I'm gonna toss this up and get it all coated so that all the blackberries are covered. Okay, now we'll just put this in the bottom crust that I've kind of pricked a couple times with a knife. Plop that on there. And if there's anything left on the bottom, just make sure and toss it on the top. And to that, I'm gonna just put a couple of tablespoons, maybe just a few little pats of butter on top. And this is salted butter, and the salt kind of helps to mull all the flavors together as well. Okay. And I've already rolled out my top crust as well. This is kind of a nice little tip. If you halfway roll it onto your rolling pin, you can just lightly fold it on there. Fold this underneath and kind of pinch it as I go. Crimp it together so that it stays closed. My grandma always used to use a fork and kind of pinch it together. That's her classic look, I think, but I feel like this is mine. That one there will kind of shape. All right, I'm just gonna cut a couple slits in, about 5. Okay, that looks good. We'll get a little pastry brush with some water and lightly brush the top. This was my grandma's little secret. And with the rest of the sugar, or just a couple tablespoons, sprinkle it on top. Nice and beautiful. All right, this is gonna go into the oven for about an hour, hour and 15 minutes, something like that. Pie tip. If you feel like your edges are browning a little too quickly, take a long piece of foil and tent it around the edges of your pie crust. It'll keep it from burning. I have a hickory smoked bone-in ham. It's already cooked, so we really don't need to do much. Just jazz it up a bit. I've started scoring it with a really sharp knife in a nice diamond pattern. All you want to do is just go down gently about 1/4 of an inch down the first layer of the ham all the way around. I've also got some apple cider. I've got about 1.5 cups. I'm gonna pour half of it on, so 3/4 of a cup. Looks good. To the rest of it, I'm gonna add some Dijon mustard, about 2 to 3 tablespoons. That there. So I'm just gonna shake this up, set it aside, because we'll baste it halfway through. I'm gonna cover this with foil. Okay, at 350 degrees, our magic temperature, we're gonna heat up the ham about 10 minutes, 12 minutes per pound. This is an 8-pound ham, so we're gonna do 80 to 90 minutes. Toss it in. For the hash brown casserole, we're gonna need a 26-ounce package of shredded frozen hash browns, 2 cups of shredded cheddar cheese, 16 ounces of sour cream, 1 can of cream of chicken soup, salt and pepper to taste, and in this pan, I've got a small onion, finely chopped, about 1/2 stick of butter, and I've sauteed it until the onions are nice and translucent. So we're just gonna put all of this in on top of the hash browns. Pretty simple. Sour cream. I like to use a whole sour cream and not a low fat. Sorry, I just can't do it. Same with the cheese. Just use a full fat cheese. A little bit of pepper. And probably about 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Might get a little crazy, a little messy, but need a nice big bowl. Okay, just gonna put this in a 9 by 13 pan. Kind of spread it out evenly just so that it all gets nice and cooked at the same time. This goes into the oven, same 350 degrees, for about 45 minutes or until the edges are golden brown and it's a little bubbly. For the Brussels sprouts, I've got 3 or 4 pounds, and all I've done is clean them up, rinsed them real well, and I'm just gonna cut the bottoms off, take off any extra leaves that might be kind of wilted or brown, and cut them in half, just so that they're more bite-sized pieces. All right, and then there's bacon. Delicious. I've got 4 slices of thick cut bacon cut into about 1-inch segments. I'm just gonna kind of sprinkle these around. The thing about the thick sliced bacon is it's gonna be a little bit more sturdy and it's gonna cook a little bit more evenly with the Brussels sprout. A little bit of salt and pepper. You don't need too much salt because the bacon does have, you know, quite a bit of saltiness. A little bit of pepper. All right, great. These guys go into the oven for 20 minutes, same oven. I'm gonna toss them halfway through just to make sure that they're nice and evenly cooked. Oh yeah, everything's getting bubbly. My friends will be here pretty soon, so I'm gonna go get changed for dinner. There we go, here's some butter. All right, dinner is ready. I hope you guys get out and try some of my recipes and start cooking with gas for your holidays. Let's eat.